And here we are,
sat
drinking in the cafe, which is so far away from what our day-to-day roles are.
Game begin.
So hi, I'm Maya.
Hi, I'm Ellie.
And we're going to be talking a little bit about your journey into BT apprenticeships, thoughts, feelings, how you found it. So firstly, should we just start off with what apprenticeship scheme you do and where you're at in it?
Yep, so I'm on the Digital and Technology Solutions scheme on the Cyber Security pathway, and I'm currently in my third year, so I've got a year left.
And how are you finding it so far? What are some of your day-to-day responsibilities?
Well, so it's flown by. I can't believe I'm in my third year already. Well, actually going into my fourth year now. So I'm currently on the cyber architecture team.
Okay.
So I'm doing things like creating dashboards for certain teams, and I work with other people to make sure that the right logs and events are showing. It's like fairly the same thing on day to day on the team I'm on currently, but on previous role it was kind of new things every day.
And you're in a different location to, I think, a lot of BT apprenticeships, aren't you? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I'm at Adastral Park in Ipswich. It's nice because we've got like our own site, so we can walk around. The buildings aren't as nice. Can I say that? Probably can't say that. But the buildings aren't as nice as like Snow Hill or One Brom.
They're a little bit older, aren't they?
They've
been there a bit longer, haven't they?
But I guess the positive thing is that like we've actually got a site that we can walk around. Especially in the summer, we can just go and sit outside and have lunch. But I guess if you're like in One Brom, you have to kind of stay
right
inside.
In the city, isn't it? When you kind of joined BT, what were you most either excited about or nervous about when first joining?
When I first joined, I had no IT experience whatsoever. I did my A-levels and I did psychology, film and maths. So like nothing.
Quite different then.
Yeah. And in my head I was thinking, am I going to understand anything? Am I going to learn anything? Like, am I going to be able to learn anything? But every day I've learned something new. So yeah, I think that's probably my best achievement so far.
And what kind of drew you to apply for a BT apprenticeship?
I didn't know what I wanted to do when I left school, and I had a lot of family members who actually worked at BT at the time, and they would say, yeah, like BT's great, there's so many different career opportunities there, so many different pathways you can go down, and you get to meet all these new people. And I thought, okay, I'm going to go for it. Cyber I thought was interesting because it's very important and it's like growing continuously. So that kind of like persuaded me to go for the cyber role instead of the network or software role. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far.
And what was something that you were a little bit nervous about other than no kind of prior experience? Was that meeting new people, or have you always adapted quite well to that?
I think I'm fairly outgoing, so meeting new people like wasn't too much of an issue for me. But I think just learning new skills was quite a challenge because it's something that I'd never done before. It was like a new area for me. But yeah.
And we've met a couple of times at different events.
I think
right?
so, yeah.
I think we've been to, there was an event at Snow Hill previously that we were both on.
Yes, the Inspire Her event.
Yeah, so that was kind of aimed at getting young women into like tech roles and things like that.
Yeah.
So I guess we have quite a lot of outside experience around BT, I guess, in terms of like apprenticeships and things like that.
I do like doing events like that because I think from my perspective, I would have loved to have something like that when I was in sixth form. Like to have, especially females, like come in from the industry and talk about their experiences and what they like and what they don't like, because I never had any of that in sixth form. So
yeah, me either. I think coming into BT, I always thought it was quite a male-dominated industry, and also maybe a little bit older. I don't know. Yeah, without offending anyone, without offending any past managers.
Yeah.
But I always thought it was a little bit older. Like, is there going to be anybody there that I can relate to or get to know? Maybe have lunch with.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like a big fear of mine, was like the social aspect as well, because you are at work for so many hours of the day. So when you are in the office, it's nice to be around like-minded people or people in similar positions to you.
I've met loads of new people from like completely different backgrounds, like ex-army, ex-teachers, grads. So yeah, it's nice to have that kind of range of friends and network people around you.
talk a little bit about salary. So when you first joined, how did you feel about that? Was that kind of like a drawing point to just join an apprenticeship? Was the salary, or?
I think for me, I wasn't like entirely sure, because obviously I'd just left A-levels, because I'd never had like a full-time job or anything. I wasn't entirely sure what a good and bad salary kind of looked like. But there was a lot of people, especially my family, who were like, wow, this is great, like this is going to go up as well, so you know, it's brilliant. And then from that point onwards, I've realised, okay, yeah, this is nice.
It's better, isn't it?
Yeah,
having
definitely.
Kind of like that stable flow of income each month.
Especially considering what the apprentices above my year, what they started on. So yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, because I know that it changes each year and like adapts kind of to the market and things like that, cost of living, etc., etc. So I think it kind of gave us quite a good starting point. I think.
Definitely.
You know, when I joined back in 2021, I want to say, it was just kind of like, I've never heard this much money before, ever. Like, I worked part-time jobs and things like that. So I think that was definitely like, it wasn't the reason I applied, but it was definitely,
part of it.
It was part of it, Yeah, so in terms of like salary progression, when joining compared to now, how have you found that in terms of like percentage, or is it a fixed amount year on year?
Yes, a fixed amount every October. I think it's good because it almost keeps you motivated, because you know what's coming. And it's also rewarding as well, because you know that it's going to go up, and you're gonna really feel like you actually are an employee, not just an apprentice.
And do you think you're paid fairly for the work that you do?
Yeah, definitely. I think we're paid pretty well for what we do, especially as an apprentice as well. So,
yeah, because I guess we're getting our kind of tuition covered at university as well, which is a massive add-on. Even if we're not seeing that money straight into our bank, they're kind of investing into our education, which I think is almost as good as getting paid a salary as well. You're coming out of it without any kind of debt, which is a really big benefit, I guess, of doing an apprenticeship. I think some of my friends, they've kind of gone to university and done a 3-year course, obviously mine was 4, but then come out of it and struggle to kind of get employment, or the salaries can be quite low. So I think it puts us in quite a good position that we've kind of already established ourselves.
Yeah, that's something that I always highlight whenever I go to like a careers event. I kind of highlight the differences between going to university and getting an apprenticeship. Because obviously you've got experience with an apprenticeship, and people are more likely to hire you because not only have you got a degree, but you've also had experience with other people, other teams, and
you know how it works.
Yeah, definitely.
There's so many different networks kind of around BT. I'm on a few of them that I'm on with like teams and things like that. And I think they're just nice, actually. You can connect with anybody in any office, any location, and just kind of build those relationships through those networks, which I think is great.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's one of the really good things about working here, is like the networks that you can build and the communities you can join. It's really nice.
And I think people really do stick around at BT. I know that we have like the BT lifers that have been there for such a long time. And I think that just actually shows what a good company BT is and how they value their employees.
Yeah, I agree.
So I know that recently BT have kind of brought in their new policy, 3 together, 2 wherever. How have you been adapting to that? And prior to that coming out, what did your kind of working style look like?
So before that came out, I would be in the office like 5 days a week. Obviously one day would be study. I think, again, it depends on everyone's situation. If you have a lot of people at home, or have like a big family, got a lot of little kids running around, it might be easier for you to just come in the office. But I think some people can focus better at home, maybe in a quieter space. I'm kind of a bit of both, to be honest. I do like coming to the office because I feel like it gives you that social aspect, whereas if you're at home and other people are at work, you might just be on your own all day and you might feel quite isolated. So yeah, I do like coming to the office. I do currently work from home 1 day a week. I do enjoy it, but I do think that you are able to socialise more when you're like around your team. You can collaborate a little bit better.
So if one of your friends or family members was thinking about doing an apprenticeship, and it doesn't have to necessarily be specific to BT, what's one piece of advice that you would give them?
I would say be determined to learn, or feel motivated to learn. I know you can't tell someone to feel something, but I think if you're open to learning new things, it's definitely going to help you, because if you pick a pathway that you don't know much about but you're interested in, it's good because you get so many opportunities to go on different rotations and try new things. And I think if you're just open to learning new skills, that is important.
Yeah, I think it's like you get out what you put in, right?
Yeah, definitely. We were saying this actually in the car coming up. We said, whatever you put in, you're going to get at the end. So
I know.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Sat drinking.
Game over.